Math and life are full of rates. A rate is simply a ratio of two quantities with different units of measurement. You're probably familiar with many real-world examples of rates, such as unit conversions, like 12 inches per foot, speeds, like 50 miles per hour, and prices, like dollars per gallon. In this course, we will be talking a lot about the rate of change in a function. A rate of change is just a rate where we assume a function relationship between the two quantities. It allows us to talk about how much the dependent variable, also called the output, changes as the independent variable, also called the input, changes. To explain this a little better, let's look at a specific example. Suppose you are filling a bathtub with water, and you're interested in how fast the water level is rising. The depth of the water is a function of how long the faucet has been running. So we can talk about the rate of change in the depth with respect to time. In other words, how fast is the water level rising? The dependent variable in this scenario is the depth of the water, and the independent variable is the time elapsed. If we are measuring the depth in inches and the time in seconds, then this rate of change would have units of inches per second. What I think is really interesting about this example is that the rate of change won't be constant. Because tubs aren't box-shaped, they don't have flat bottoms or perfectly vertical sides, the water level is going to change faster at the beginning and slower at the end. Think about filling a bottle with a neck with water. Once the water reaches the point where the bottle starts to narrow, the water level rises much faster because the cross-sectional area is smaller. Rates of change can be constant, like the rate of change in the total cost with respect to the weight when buying something like onions at the store, which have a fixed price per pound, or variable, like the rate of change in water depth with respect to time, example we just considered. In this course, we will learn how to calculate rates of change using a powerful tool called the derivative of a function. But first, we will calculate average rates of change of functions given by tables, graphs, and formulas using basic arithmetic, and then use that process to define the derivative of a function.